Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Drive Away Dolls. No, just Drive Away Dolls. Jamie regrets her breakup with her girlfriend while Marion needs to relax. In search of a fresh start, they embark on an unexpected road trip to Tallahassee. Things quickly go awry when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals. I don't know. I had it on my list. It is 5.9 on IMDb. 4,901 people rated it so far. It came out on Amazon today, and so you can get it on Amazon. The director is Ethan Coen. I don't normally talk about that, but one of the Coen brothers. So, you know, how bad can it be? Now, Margaret Qualley, somewhat, I don't know, maybe when I see her. Geraldine Viswanathan, seen her in a lot of different things. She's sometimes funny. And then also, not to be, Colman, Domingo. I wouldn't normally read that name and be like, I know who it is, but I know that picture. Pedro Pascal. Everybody now knows this guy, right? That's awesome. And Damon. I've heard of him. You know, so there's a couple people in it. I don't know how big of a role they have, but we'll see. I have no idea. Hour and 24 minutes long, too, so it's worth the risk right there. So stick around. This anywhere from 4 to 10 minute review is worth the risk as well. So hopefully we'll be closer to the 4 side. But stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Drive Away Dolls. They show you a different word at the end of the movie that's not dolls. And I'll say, you know, but as I'm seeing the credits, right? Pedro Pascal is only in the beginning, right? Very short cameo. Same kind of thing with Matt Damon. He's on what are they called? A board on the highway. Oh my gosh, I forget what they're called. And he does have a smaller part in it. Which is interesting because Miley Cyrus is also in this, very uncredited, but they're in the same scene together, and then he shows up again a little bit. So just cameos for those two, and I kind of knew that going into. It is mainly the two girls that I had talked about. They are the two girls that say, you know, one had a breakup, and the other one just needs a break, and they travel to get Margaret Qualley and Geraldine V. It's... they're kind of into each other. Sorry. But so that's my first kind of, not a warning, but just heads up. It is a very sexual movie. Girl, sexual, gay, lesbian, whatever. I guess, and there's other things in there too. I don't know if you can really say whatever, but there's a lot of that. So as long as you're okay with that, there's just like to warn people in case, you know, you go into it. And it's up front. So it's not like something that you get hit halfway through the movie. It starts right up front, and then it kind of slows down. And then as you're watching these two characters, so the one who's played by Margaret is the free-spirited, who's, you know, out there just letting it all loose. Whereas Geraldine's character's a little bit more reserved, you know, not out there putting it out there kind of thing. So you see, as they're going on their road trip to Tallahassee, then that's where Drive Away comes in. So evidently, this takes place in 1999. You can go and drive a car that needs to go from Philadelphia to Tallahassee, and you can take that car there for whatever reason. It's kind of like rental, but anyway. But I think you're doing somebody a favor by taking it there. So that's what they do. They get in the car, they go to Tallahassee. Like I said, the one had a breakup, the other one just wants to get away. And, you know, the one girl's looking out for the other girl. She's trying to get her out there, trying to get her more fun and come out of her shell. Meanwhile, I think it alludes to earlier, Geraldine, is that right? Jeez, I'm sorry. But her character, yeah, Geraldine, is kind of interested in our outgoing friend here. And so they get put in a lot of different situations, as you can imagine. They go to a lot of bars that are meant for them to have a good time, and just different things happen throughout. Meanwhile, they take a car that they shouldn't have, and so the people had something in the car that they're chasing after. And so that's the plot line, right? But it's really about them and what's going on. Not so much people chasing him, but it does set up a lot of, I think, a couple of good funny scenes. Curly from the drive-away place, I liked him. I thought he was pretty funny. I laughed at a lot of different things. The two bumbling idiots who were chasing him, there's a couple of scenes where I smiled a little bit more. The two girls, Geraldine the most, I think a lot of the stuff that she was saying cracked me up. It was very subtle and dry in a sense, but those types of things I did smile and laugh a little bit. And I liked her character, Geraldine's character. I liked her. I liked the way she portrayed that character. It was a more reserved one, but I didn't like the outgoing, played by Margaret. I didn't like the character. I don't know. I'm sure I've seen this girl before, but it seemed too, I'll say, fake to me. Not that she did a poor job acting. I think it's the character. You know, just by the way that she said things, her dialect, her tone, and I don't even know. But it just kind of, you know, like it's a voice or personality of a voice that you would use, like for, you know, a small part, like just not a small part of a character, but to tell a story and make it sound funny. But she kept that voice and that tone and that dialect, whatever I'm calling it, throughout the entire movie. I think it was supposed to, I mean, she was from Texas, so she should have had the southern drawl, but it wasn't like that. You know, and I don't know how to place it, but that, I didn't, you know, I thought we could have done without that piece of it, and she could have still been funny. She would have been funnier to me. In my opinion, I thought it was cool. It's you know, it starts in Philadelphia, ends in Tallahassee. The other weird thing, I did take a couple of notes, but I think I remember everything else that I thought was interesting, and I might have missed, you know, the point or the requirements to watch this film. For some reason, there was, I will say, 3 or maybe 4, I'll say, cutscenes, right, that are psychedelic and trippy and, you know, maybe important, but I didn't quite pick up on them. They were just like weird, and there was, so it felt to me like even an hour and 24-minute film, what are you putting in these cutscenes for, or these little, you know, transition pieces, and why are they all like this and hippie? It's like, it's 1999. It felt more 70ish. So I don't know if it's insinuating maybe you should watch this movie after you partake in something else and you'll enjoy it more. And I could see that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's, you know, maybe you'd find it a little bit more funnier. Those cutscenes would be more fun. I don't know. So I'm here to say that I did not do anything before watching this movie. But I thought that was interesting. I'm not sure exactly why they were in there. Yeah. So I think I covered everything. It was okay. I was about looking for all the laughs, and like I said, in certain spots they were there, in certain spots they weren't, and they felt forced. I'm sure I had more to say, but I don't remember anymore, and that's all I got for you. So it also seemed, they seemed to be, last thing, and it could be political. You know, they mentioned Democrat, Republican. In fact, Matt Damon plays a senator, and you know, they make some references in one of the psychedelic scenes. There's the 2 symbols of the political parties, and so there was something going on. I'm assuming, and this is how outside of politics I am, I'm assuming politics has something to do with their lifestyle. You know, some's for and some's against. Whatever. So I can't tell you all that. So I think that'll probably impact a lot of viewers of this film, because politics always impacts the film. Doesn't matter how good it is. If it picks a side, and if you don't like that side, not you, the public doesn't like that side, or the other side sees it, whatever, it's going to get canceled or whatever. I don't know if it's going to get canceled, but you know what I mean. So beware of that. I'm sure there's some political undertones in this movie, because I actually saw symbols. So, but I don't know what they were, and they didn't bother me one bit. So there you go. Yeah, I have to do one last thing. It's not a spoiler, but I told you Miley Cyrus is in this, and I thought that was funny. She had, and I was like, is that her? I had to go through and see. Her name was Tiffany Plastercaster. That was her name, but she's uncredited in IMDb. But there you go. That's it. That's all I got for you. I don't know if I was helpful. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.